Of the Riff Rundown. I hope this is finding you doing well on this beautiful weekend. My name is Angela Petrilli. I am here with my friends at Fishman for a brand new episode. Today's episode is pre-recorded, but don't worry, we're gonna have a lot of fun with this one. We're gonna be learning 8 Days a Week by the Beatles. So get your acoustic guitar and standard tuning for this one. If you only have an electric, it's totally fine too. But if you got an acoustic, it's gonna sound extra, extra special. So as always, if you guys are enjoying the lessons, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. It absolutely helps the cause. And if you want to check out all the cool Fishman gear that I use in these lessons, including the RS Spectrum DI, go ahead and click the link in the video description below. So before we get started, you guys know I like to ask a question, so please let me know where you are tuning in from and your dream acoustic guitar. I want to know what it is, so go ahead and put it in the comments. Again, welcome everybody. Really glad you're here. Here is 8 Days a Week by the Beatles. This is a really fun one today. I would say definitely geared towards the beginners and intermediates. There's some cool chords, especially the intro chords at the top, that are really fun. Again, expanding our syntax of chords. It's always a good thing. So let's go ahead and look at the intro at the top. I'm gonna play just a little bit slower than I did a moment ago. It's gonna look and sound like this. So what's really neat about this, it's the same shape that we are moving up and down the fretboard. So we're going to use our first 3 fingers here for this first chord. So I want you to place your first finger on the 10th fret of the B string, your second finger on the 11th fret of the G string, and then your third finger on the 12th fret of the D string. So that's going to sound like this. Right there, that's a friendly D major chord. How do we know this? Our first finger is playing A, our second finger is playing F sharp, and our third finger is playing the D note. What the Beatles do here is they're including that high E string too. Really pretty chord there, okay? So we're gonna strum this chord 2 times. So just a nice up, down, okay? Try not to overthink it. Just like that. And again, try to stop the stroke, okay, from that D string. We don't want to get any of these lower strings. From there, we're going to get our pinky finger, okay, we're going to place that on the 12th fret of the B string. So now we're incorporating a B note here, okay? So, for context, that sounds like this. We're going to hammer on like that, okay, with that pinky finger. Good exercise for that pinky finger to strengthen it up. I know a lot of you say in the comments, like, how can I build that pinky finger strength? It's chords like this that will really help you. Okay, so here we go. And from there, we're going to release that pinky to go back to that D chord with a high E string. Just like that. Let's go ahead and do the whole thing. Nice and slowly here. Can't play anything fast, we can't play slow. Just like that. Now, we're going to do the same sequence, okay? And all we're going to do is move it up a whole step. So we're playing around now an E major chord, okay? So your first finger should be on the 12th fret of the B string, which is B. Your second finger on the 13th fret of the G string, which is a G sharp, and then your third finger on the 14th fret of the D string, which is E. Now we are also going to incorporate the high E string here too. That will sound like this. Pretty chord, right? Really nice E major chord. And again, same thing. So this time, that pinky, okay, I want you to hammer it on there at the 14th fret of the B string. It's a C sharp. Just like that. So let's go ahead and do that. And again, if all downward strokes help you with this, you could play it that way too. That's totally fine. Just like that. Kind of nice. That's all down strokes. Let's go ahead and include it with the D chord here for context. Okay, here it is with the upstroke. Okay, so either way, it'll sound great. From there, we're going to move this shape up. Now we're going to play around a G chord. So moving this shape, okay, same shape, we're just bringing it up. Your first finger should now be on the 15th fret of the B string. Okay, it's going to be a D note. Your second finger should now be on the 16th fret of the G string. It's going to be a B note, B as in boy. And then we have our root here of G, which is going to be on the 17th fret of the D string. And then we have that high E in there. Cool stuff, right? So that's the chord. And again, with that pinky finger hammer on, the pinky finger is going to go on the 17th fret of the B string. Okay? The sequence will sound like this. And from there, we finish with the D chord sequence. Just like that. So we go from D to E to G, back to D, and then we're right into the verse. Okay? So let's go ahead and do that intro a couple times, then we'll get into the verses. Again, from the top. So there it is there. Let's do it to speed. And that's your intro. So let's go ahead and look at the verses. The verses sound like this. Pretty simple, beginner-friendly chord. So the first chord is going to be a D major. So we have D, F sharp A, the 1, 3, 5, the building blocks, the tonal centers of this chord. First finger on the 2nd fret of the G string, which is our A. Our second finger, 2nd fret of the E string, which is F sharp, and our third finger on the 3rd fret of the B string, which is a D note. Strum from the open D string downward. And the strumming pattern is like that. So down, down, up, up. Just like that. From there, we go to an E major. Same strumming pattern here. How do we play the chord? So first 3 fingers, first finger on the G sharp, 1st fret of the G string, second finger, 2nd fret of the A string, which is our B note, and then our third finger, 2nd fret of the D string, which is E. Go ahead and strum every single string. Gotta love an E major chord there. Okay, again, same strumming pattern. Just like that. You got this. Okay? From there, we're going to go to G major. We're going to play the full G major chord with all 4 fingers. Okay? So first finger, 2nd fret of the A string, B. second finger, third fret of the E string, G note, third finger, third fret of the B string, that's D, and then your pinky finger, third fret of the high E string, which is G. Again, strum everything, same strumming pattern. And then back to D major. Now, my beginners who are watching, and even my advanced folks and intermediates here, notice how when I go from G to D, I'm leaving the third finger as my pivot finger. Third finger is on the third fret of the B string. It's going to help you keep that switch really nice. And for those of you paying attention, there is a D note in both the D major chord and in the G major chord. So in the D chord, the D is the root, and for the G chord, the D chord is, or the D note is the fifth. So let's go ahead and strum through that nice and slowly. Again, D to E, G to D. And that repeats 2 times for the verse. So let's go ahead and play it. Let's play it a little faster. So just like that, not too bad, right? Again, D to E, G to D, repeats 2 times in the verse. Let's go ahead and look at the chorus. We're gonna have a bar chord, but don't worry, I'm gonna walk you through it. It's all good, it's all good. Again, if you guys are enjoying the lessons, please be sure to subscribe to the channel, click that like button. It really does help the cause, and I guess there's a post notifications thing too. You can check that out. Helps let you know when we're doing another one of these live streams. All right, so I appreciate if you did. Thank you all so, so much. So let's talk about that chorus. Bar chord here. Sounds like this. We start off with that B minor. We're going to get our first finger here, placing it across the bottom 5 strings, okay? The A string through the high E string like this. I'll tuck my fingers away so you can see that, okay? When we are building a bar chord, we don't want our fingers all diagonal. We don't want that. Allow the fret, okay? Use that as a guide. We want to get as close to that fret as we can without touching it, because the second we're on top of the fret, it doesn't matter how hard you press, you're going to get buzzing. We don't want that. It doesn't sound good. Okay, so get as close as you can without touching it. Now, with our second finger, placing that on the D note, okay, third fret of the B string, we're going to reach with our third finger here, okay, fourth fret of the D string. It's going to be our F sharp. And then our pinky finger is going to go on the B note, okay, B as in boy, fourth fret of the G string. Now, that's how the chord should sound. Now notice here too, you cannot see my thumb. Notice how when I place my thumb towards the top, right, wrapping it around the neck, see how the hand begins to shrivel? That's where we can come across a lot of like reaching, like, oh, I can't reach, I can't play the chord. If we train our hands to place that thumb, okay, in the middle of the neck, it's gonna help us really stretch out those fingers and play these bar chords just a little easier, okay? So something I really wanted to mention there, because I know a lot of us have trouble with our bar chords. So that's our B minor there again. If we're taking notes, B, F sharp, or so we have B is our 1, D is our flat 3, and then F sharp is our 5. Okay, so how I like to strum it is down, up, let's see, down, up, down, just like that. Just like that. Then we go to G. And again, same strumming pattern there. But again, whatever feels comfortable for you. I know I'm a very percussive kind of player. From there, we go back to that B minor. Then we go to an E major. can notice same strumming pattern with all 4 of those chords. Let's go ahead and do that again. B minor to G, back to B minor to E major. Let's go ahead and do that again without the commentary. Let's do that again. Okay, so I'm doing this different strumming pattern here, and you'll notice in the song, you'll hear how the dynamics kind of change just a little bit. Because after this part, then we go right into the chords that we saw in the verses a couple of moments ago, D to E, G, back to D. All right, so that sounds like this. And again, the strumming pattern for D, E, G, and D is going to be exactly the same as it was in the verses. So here's the whole chorus. So see how that really lifts at the end of the chorus? It's quite beautiful just by changing the strumming just a little bit. So let's go ahead and do this since we're about halfway through this lesson. Let's go ahead and do an intro, let's do a verse, and let's do a chorus, okay? Just to recap, and then we have a bridge and a final chorus to go, and we are done, folks. So here we go, intro at the top. And I'm gonna play just a little bit slower, so here we go. Chorus. So from there, we go right into a verse. Let's do that right now. Verse 2. Chorus 2. So there is chorus 2. Now, from there, we go right into that bridge. I love the bridge, probably my favorite part of this song. It's so great. I'm gonna play the bridge right now. So here's how it sounds, and then I'll talk you through it. So here we go. To that third verse. So what's really cool here is we are now incorporating a new chord, which is going to be A major. So how I like to play it, there are many different ways that you can play this A chord. I like to play it this way: second, third, and fourth finger. So my second finger on the second fret of the D string, okay, it's going to be our E note. Third finger on the second fret of the G string, so that's our A. And then your fourth finger on the second fret of the B string, which is C sharp, so that's our third. So we have strumming from the A string downward, we have our A major chord. So just like that, again, A, C sharp, E, 1, 3, 5. And we're gonna do 2 bars of 4 here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, same strumming pattern that we did in the verses. Let's go ahead and do that again without the commentary, just strumming the A major. Here we go. Like that. Let's go ahead and do that again. Now, once we get back to that B minor, we're going to strum it once and let it ring. So we strum it on the 1, and we're going to let it ring, okay? The rest of those measures. I'm sure you guys noticed too. You could hear the tapping when I was playing that B minor chord just to keep me in time. So for context, sounds like this with the A major. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we get into that E major right after that. Strumming resumes. Now with that E major, again, 2 bars of 4. Now we're going to go back to playing 1 measure per chord. The next chord is going to be G for 1 measure of 4. Then to an A7 for another 4 bars. So, or another 1 measure. Okay, so what we're going to do here is our 2nd finger and our 3rd finger. Okay, we're placing our 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the D string, which is our E note, and then our 3rd finger on the 2nd fret of the B string, which is the C sharp. Now, again, there are many different ways to play this chord. This is comfortable for me when I am playing this song here. There you go. No particular reason, it just feels most comfortable. Okay, so strumming from the A string downward. Okay, we're playing that open G note, so that is the flat 7 of this chord. So not only do we have A, C sharp, and E, we have that G in there as well. So just like that. And that concludes the bridge. So if we play the whole bridge, I'll play it just a bit slower. I will go ahead and commentate the first time, and then I will do without the commentary the second time. And then again, we'll put all the pieces together. As always, if you guys are enjoying the lessons, click that like button. It surely does help. And subscribe to the channel if you have not already. All right, so here we go, top of the bridge. A, B minor. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. E major. G, A7. Let's do that again without the commentary. And there you have it. So that's the bridge. So let's go ahead and do this next, okay? Let's go ahead and run through verse 3, which is after the first bridge, then a chorus, okay, our 3rd chorus. And then from there, we go into a 2nd bridge into a verse 4. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's do verse 3, chorus 3, bridge 2. All right, into verse 4, and then we'll get into that final chorus, and then we are done for the day. So here we go. Verse 3. Here comes that 3rd chorus. Second bridge. And then from there is a verse 4. All right, pretty cool stuff. So when we look at the final chorus, which comes after verse 4, it's going to be the regular chorus that we have. And we're just going to do one pass of that. So the B minor to G, B minor to E D, E, G, D. So that all happens just as if it were a regular chorus. Now, what happens here is we have this little tag at the end of it, and all it is just G to D. It is going to be repeated twice. Okay, so I'll play that part of it there. So here is the final chorus. G to D, and one more time. Just like that. All right, so that's what's happening there for that final chorus. Now, the song ends with the intro line with a slight variation. The only thing that's different is the D chord at the very end. We're just going to strum it one time and let it ring, and that's it. Okay? So the final part of the song that happens after the final chorus sounds like this. So notice slight variation just at the very end. We let that D chord ring. All right? So let's go ahead and play through that again. Just like that. Now, let's include it with a final chorus. Here we go. Final chorus. So that's the tune right there. Pretty cool, right? So we have time. Let's go ahead and run through all the parts. Intro. Verse. Into a chorus. And let's do a bridge. So there are all the parts. We just did it. Great job, everybody. So that is 8 Days a Week by the Beatles. Again, if you guys are enjoying these lessons, please be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on the post notifications, click that like button. All that stuff really helps the cause in getting these lessons out there to fellow musicians, fellow people who want to learn how to play guitar. Again, these lessons, I build them for people who are at every single level in their guitar playing journey. It is such a blast. I want to thank the folks at Fishman for helping me run these lessons week after week, and most certainly I want to thank all of you for tuning in week after week. It's so lovely to see all of your names and bringing along new folks to the chat and all of that stuff and sharing these videos. It really does help a lot, and know that I so absolutely appreciate it. We've built such a lovely community here. It is just really, really special. So thank you all so very much. And again, I just started a Patreon page. If you want to hang out with us and talk about music and guitars and all of that good stuff, be sure to check out my Patreon. I left the link in the video description below. As always, wishing you so much success in your musical